What's up, guys? So in this video we're going to talk about Beyond Meat stock analysis. So for this channel, the majority of the time we've been talking a lot of EV plays and things like that, and I've been keeping my eye on a lot of these plant-based stocks, guys. You've got a lot of growth stocks in some other areas that are just, the valuations are just becoming so attractive now, and one that's on my radar for sure is Beyond Meat. Okay, so when I'm looking for growth stocks, I'm really looking to buy stocks. There's two types of growth stocks I'm looking for. So the first one is stocks that I'm looking to hold throughout the decade. Okay, these are companies that I believe have the ability to grow revenue, improve margins, generate lots and lots of net income, and just make shareholders a ton of money. I'm talking about these are the type of stocks like perhaps the future Amazons, okay, the future Netflixes. These are the stocks that you can retire from your job or your business far, far earlier than most of your peers. So that's category one. And then we have category two. We have stocks that are simply, they're in an industry that hasn't fully been discovered. So that would be like eVTOL stocks is a great example, right? So not the EV vehicles, but we're talking about urban air travel. And these are stocks where we know that there's going to be growth in the industry, but we haven't really seen it yet, and they're a lot more speculative. So I think Beyond Meat definitely falls into the second one. I don't really know exactly where or which plant-based company is going to win in the end. And I shared a video a few days ago about Planet X Life. This is an e-commerce play, right? So this e-commerce play, Planet X Life, they don't actually produce plant-based products. They just sell all of them. So these are kind of the safer plays. Now, Beyond Meat is a company I've been following for a very, very long time. Now, this stock was traded as high as $220 just in the beginning of the year, okay, guys? Now down to $100 at a previous support level. This had the support level. It held very strongly during the May dip. This was when a lot of these growth stocks dipped. Now the stock ran all the way up to 158. Now it's right back to $100. So in this video, we're going to talk a lot about Beyond Meat. We're going to talk about what products they sell. We're going to talk about their revenue growth over the latest quarter. We're going to talk about some of the celebrity ambassadors. We're going to talk about their revenue. We're going to talk about everything that it comes to plant-based meat. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to smash the like button and hit the red subscribe button as well. So to give you guys a quick background on Beyond Meat. So this is a company. What they do is they're basically producing plant-based burgers. So, you know, traditionally people have been basically eating, of course, chicken, beef, and things like that. And there seems to be a contingent of people, okay, people are becoming more aware of the environmental impact of eating meat-based products versus transitioning to plant-based products. And I'm going to show you guys a few statistics. Okay, so we're going to go back to that Credit Suisse report that talks about basically the impact of the food production industry. So as you can see here, it says food production and consumption contribute well over 20% of global greenhouse gas emissions and account for more than 90% of the world's fresh water consumption. So as the population will plan to grow to 10 billion people, we can just simply not sustain all of these people on basically 100% meat diets. There's just not enough land. There's not enough space. There's just not enough total energy to constantly keep up this production, because as the consumption of meat products continues to rise along with the population, it just becomes this feedback loop where eventually it's going to be unsustainable. So this is where a lot of people are coming in and saying, okay, there needs to be a change. So as you can see here, it says a change in diet towards one that is plant-based appears inevitable if the global food systems become sustainable. It says research suggests that a plant-based diet not only has a 90% lower emission intensity than that of the current average diet, but also has the potential to reduce the number of premature deaths among adults by 11 million. Okay, and it says that the alternative meat and dairy market will grow from its current size of 14 billion to 1.4 trillion, guys. So according to this report, they're literally expecting the plant-based market to 100x. And that is one of the reasons why I think Beyond Meat is such an interesting play, okay? So as you can see here, their food produces basically the same amount of protein you're going to get in meat, and it's less saturated fat, okay? It generates 90% fewer greenhouse gas emissions, which is one of the reasons why it's just hot, guys. So, you know, me, I was born in 1986, and I don't know if it's just me, but I can clearly, I travel. I've been to most continents around the world except for like Australia, and it just seems like it's hotter. I don't know if it's me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just older or something like that. But it just seems like this whole greenhouse gas emissions thing is way different. And I just noticed when I was a kid, I used to like chase bumblebees and dragonflies, moths. They just seemed like there were just more bugs around, and I haven't seen many bugs. I haven't seen a lot of bugs in a long time, so I don't know if the bugs moved somewhere or they just couldn't survive. But climate change is real, okay? It's not so much global warming, it's climate change. I think climate change is a serious problem. And then another thing what Beyond Meat does is that the original Beyond Burger takes less water, land, and energy than a quarter of a pound U.S. beef burger. And also, of course, a plant-based diet will save around 250,000 annuals per year, according to Forbes. So it kind of just checks off all the boxes, okay? So me, what I've done is before, I like to invest in any company, I obviously want to try the products. I've had the Beyond Burgers before, okay? Now, I'll admit, at first, it was a little bit weird eating this plant-based burger. But, there's plenty of high-level celebrities that endorse this product, so I decided to go out there and give it a try. I tried to, try the food with an open mind and things like that. They have some pretty high-profile celebrities supporting Beyond Meat that apparently NBA superstar from the Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie Irving, he eats Beyond Meat all the time. Chris Paul, he's a point guard for the Phoenix Suns. They made the NBA Finals where they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks last season. He's a big proponent of Beyond Meat. And DeAndre Jordan, he's kind of another journeyman out there. He's pretty big into Beyond Meat too. So there's a lot of celebrities around this. I tried the food. It's something you definitely got to get used to. The taste is a little bit different. But, one of the things I wanted to really talk about this channel is I really wanted to talk about stocks, and not just stocks that are going to make money, but they're going to fight climate change. Because I really think climate change is the biggest problem we're going to have in the future. If the planet's going to go to so many people, it has to be sustainable. And I think that in the long run, investors that are investing in companies that are fighting climate change are going to outperform the broader market. That's just my general belief. So you get to preserve the planet and you get profits at the same time. So it's just a win-win. So now let's talk numbers, guys. So we talked a little bit about Beyond Meat. We talked, as you can see here, you can see some of the products. I'm not going to go too deep into these products, guys. You can check out the website yourself. But basically, they sell basically replacements of burgers, ground meat, sausages, meatballs, and chicken. So now let's talk numbers, guys. Because at the end of the day, this is a company. It's publicly traded. We want to see where the numbers are. So in the latest quarter, our company did $149 million in revenue. That was up 32% year over year, with losses of $31 per share. Now, one of the reasons I like Beyond Meat so much is that it's a founder-led company. You know how much I really enjoy investing in founder-led companies. On this channel, they've been, study after study has shown they've outperformed non-founder-led companies. So, and that's one of the things I want to do with my portfolio to wrap up moving forward. I want to invest more in founder-led companies. Right now, I definitely need to do a little bit of rebalancing. But the good news is that a lot of the best founder-led companies, especially in like plant-based EV stocks, these are all young industries, okay? So a lot of growth here. So Ethan Brown, he's a founder and CEO. He's doing a great job. He's been like vegetarian himself ever since he was in high school. So he has a lot of experience, personal experience, and I think he's done an excellent job growing this company. So what really stood out to me, if you take a look at some of these numbers, you can see that food services revenue is through the roof. So a lot of that is obviously due to pandemic, but in the United States, while retail revenue dipped year over year, food service revenue exploded. So food service would be, for instance, buying a Beyond Burger at a restaurant. Retail would be, buying a Beyond Burger at the supermarket or something like that. So I think there's a lot more growth in food service. Okay, we've seen companies like DoorDash, Uber. The people are getting used to buying stuff on app, ordering their groceries on app, ordering things from restaurants. I think this food service has a huge amount of potential. But overall, hey, 31% revenue growth is excellent. Basically, the numbers are just moving up, okay? The company has plenty of cash. You got $1 billion in cash. They shouldn't have to, do any equity raises or things like that. They're not losing a ton of money, okay? They only lost $19 million in the last quarter. They have $1 billion on the books. They're good. So, right now they're just really worried about growing the company. So let's talk a little bit more about some of these metrics. We're currently sitting at a $6 billion market cap with a price to sales ratio of 14. That's not too shabby. Okay, I've talked about some other stocks out here where the price of sales is literally like over 100. One that comes to mind is Blink Charging. So you're getting a company at $6 billion market cap, 14 years to get your money back in terms of revenue. Not too shabby. $450 million in trailing 12 months revenue, $1 billion on the books. Now the thing that I don't really like is the negative cash flow, but I've seen this before in a lot of companies. Probably one that comes to mind is Amazon and Facebook. Those companies, bled cash for years, and now they're all $1 trillion companies. So I'm not saying Beyond Meat's going to become a $1 trillion company, but I had a few interesting things to talk about. And probably the most kind of exciting development I've seen with Beyond Meat is their partnership with McDonald. Okay, so this website's called plantbasednews.org. So if you guys are interested in Beyond Meat or any of these other stocks, this is probably my #1 favorite site for researching plant-based food companies. There's a ton of great information on this site. And this article is posted in September 9th. It says McDonald's UK debuts the McPlant burger for the same price as the Big Mac. So basically, long story short, McDonald's recently launched the McPlant. Now, this seems to be a trial release, okay? They did this in the UK, so this is the first place that the McPlant has showed up. Now, this is huge, okay? McDonald's, obviously, the biggest restaurant company in the world. There's literally a McDonald's in most cities around the world. You're going to find it very rare to travel anywhere and not see a McDonald's somewhere. So if the McPlant burger does well and they launch it, throughout the UK and Ireland, we could see the same, basically, the same trend all over the world, guys. And this will do so much for Beyond Meat's revenue. This would literally send their sales through the roof. So remember I was showing you the growth. If we talk a little bit, we go back here on this food service growth. This will absolutely explode these numbers, both in the international and in the US. So this is really exciting. And I don't think a lot of people realize this. I don't think a lot of people realize this when they're looking at the stock. So the stock right now is literally trading at wonderful support levels, down nearly 50% from its year-to-date high. And they have the potential to launch, throughout the UK, throughout Ireland, and potentially worldwide, have a McPlant available in almost every McDonald's throughout the world. And right there, you're going to have people that never really tried plant-based foods. They're going to have the option for the McPlant. The McPlant could absolutely be, a winner. So I haven't tried it personally. When I invest in food companies, I obviously like to try the products. But I've had a Beyond Meat burger before. I don't know how the McPlant would taste, but I'm pretty sure they're going to, make it taste just as good as a Big Mac or any other product. So I'm really excited for next year. I think Beyond Meat is going to be a big winner in 2022. Basically on the, basically riding McDonald's and all that huge marketing and advertising that McDonald's is going to do for Beyond Meat. So if people buy the McPlant and they love it at McDonald's, then they can also head to the store, the grocery store, and buy it and make it at home themselves, buy it at McDonald's. So there's just a lot of brand equity, a lot of advertising, a lot of exposure for a very young company, okay? $6 billion, this is a very, very tiny company, and they have a lot of long-term growth. So guys, that's it to basically talk a little bit about why I like Beyond Meat so much. I think at $100, me personally, I think this is definitely my opportunity to get into the stock. I've been waiting patiently to really get into Beyond Meat. That McDonald's deal really increased my interest. I've always liked the company, and I think the food tastes okay. I think they can improve it. But like I said, plant-based is definitely here to stay, and you saw those numbers. $1.5 trillion market within the next 30 years. So if Beyond Meat becomes the top plant-based stock out there in terms of their meat alternatives, this could be a huge winner. This could be a potential 10, 20, maybe even 100x stock in the future, guys. So I think Beyond Meat will definitely make a comeback. Once that McDonald's revenue starts rolling into the books, I think this company will easily hit $1 billion trailing 12 months revenue. So we could be looking at a future stock price of 200 plus. Okay, this company, in the early hype a couple years ago, it was as high as almost $250. So it's been an extremely volatile stock. One of the things I do like about it is that there really aren't that many shares outstanding, so it really trades more like a cryptocurrency with only 63 million shares outstanding. So the company hasn't really diluted this. This could be an excellent long-term hold, and it really does do a lot more for the environment. Now, some of the risk I will say about Beyond Meat, okay, there's a couple of cons that I don't like. Number one, that this is a processed food item. So there's going to be a lot of people out there that don't like Beyond Meat because it's processed food, and I understand that. But like I said, I think in the net effect is positive, right? Because we're reducing greenhouse gas emissions, we're reducing reliance on animal protein, and we're saving energy. So even though the food's processed, this is modern day society. Almost everyone's been exposed to processed food. It's really all in moderation. So I wouldn't go out there and eat 10 of these burgers every day. But, if you have, anything in moderation could be okay. Okay, there's been studies of people that have smoked and drank. They live well into their hundreds. It's just, I think everything is moderation. Okay, I'm not telling you guys not to try this. I'm not telling you to eat it or stop eating meat or drink or whatever. But just realize that I don't think anything's 100% positive unless you're going to be eating just like carrots or strawberries or just plain food. So everything's going to have its risk. And the other thing I want to talk about is competitors. Okay. Right now, this is a young market. There really aren't too many competitors out there. There is the potential that Beyond Meat could face some more competition in the future, so we have to take that into account. That could put a lot of downward pressure on the stock, but right now they seem to be the clear-cut favorite, and a deal with McDonald's is massive. So that's it, guys. I want to wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoy my content. Please smash the red subscribe button. I am beyond stock going to the moon next year. This McDonald's news is massive, and the revenue is already soaring. So for me right now, it's time for me to get some exposure to this company. I really, I think the product tastes good, and I think it has a lot of future potential. So if you guys enjoyed my content, please smash the red subscribe button, and also give me a thumbs up as well for this Beyond Meat stock analysis. So that's it. Until next time, guys. Take care.